In the lush jungles of India, where the colors of nature painted a vibrant tapestry and the songs of birds filled the air, there lived a humble farmer named Raj. He tended to his fields with care and diligence, his days spent under the watchful gaze of the sun. One day, as Raj worked in his fields, he stumbled upon a magnificent sight: a golden peacock perched upon a branch, its feathers shimmering in the sunlight like molten gold. Enchanted by its beauty, Raj approached the peacock with reverence, marveling at its splendor. To his surprise, the peacock spoke, its voice as melodious as the wind through the trees. "I am the guardian of the golden peacock," it declared. "And you, Raj, have been chosen to be its protector." Filled with wonder and awe, Raj accepted the peacock's charge and vowed to safeguard it with his life. From that day forth, he became known as the guardian of the golden peacock, spending his days watching over the majestic bird and ensuring its safety. But as time passed, Raj grew curious about the peacock's origins and the secrets it held. Determined to uncover the truth, he set out on a quest to learn more about the bird and its magical powers. Through trials and tribulations, Raj discovered that the golden peacock was no ordinary bird, but a symbol of prosperity and abundance. Legend spoke of its ability to grant wishes to those who treated it with kindness and respect. Moved by this revelation, Raj vowed to use the peacock's magic to bring prosperity to his village and help those in need. With each wish granted, the village flourished, its fields yielding bountiful harvests and its people living in harmony and peace. But as Raj's fame spread far and wide, so too did the greed and jealousy of others. Envious of his newfound wealth, they plotted to steal the golden peacock and claim its magic for themselves. Undeterred by the threats against him, Raj stood firm in his resolve to protect the peacock and its magic. With courage and determination, he thwarted their plans and ensured that the peacock remained safe from harm. And though many years had passed since he first discovered the golden peacock, Raj remained true to his vow, using its magic to bring joy and prosperity to all who crossed his path. From that day forth, the golden peacock became a symbol of hope and abundance in the village, a reminder that true wealth could only be found in the kindness and generosity of the heart. And though Raj may have been the guardian of the golden peacock, he knew that its magic belonged to all who believed in its power. In the heart of the Romanian forests, where the shadows danced beneath ancient trees and the moonlight cast a silvery glow, there roamed a magnificent creature known as the golden stag. Its coat shimmered like molten gold, and its antlers glistened with jewels that sparkled in the sunlight. Legends whispered of the golden stag's magical powers to those who captured it. It was said to grant untold riches and eternal prosperity. Many brave hunters ventured into the depths of the forest in search of the elusive creature, but none returned with more than tales of its fleeting beauty. Among those who sought the golden stag was a young hunter named Radu, with a heart full of determination and a spirit as wild as the forest itself. Radu set out on a quest to find the legendary creature and claim its bounty. For days and nights, Radu journeyed through the dense undergrowth, guided only by the light of the moon and the whispers of the wind. Along the way, he encountered trials and tribulations: a treacherous river to ford, a labyrinth of thorns to navigate, but he pressed on, undeterred by the challenges that lay ahead. And then, one fateful night, as Radu stood atop a windswept hill, he caught sight of a glimmering figure moving gracefully through the trees. It was the golden stag, its majestic form bathed in the moon's silver light. With a silent prayer on his lips, Radu notched an arrow to his bow and took aim. But as he prepared to release his shot, he hesitated, struck by the stag's beauty and grace. In that moment of hesitation, the golden stag turned and locked eyes with Radu, its gaze piercing through the darkness and into his soul. And in that instant, Radu knew that he could not bring himself to harm such a magnificent creature, no matter the riches it promised. With a gentle nod of its head, the golden stag vanished into the depths of the forest, leaving Radu standing alone in the moonlight. And though he returned to his village empty-handed, Radu carried with him a newfound wisdom, a realization that true wealth could not be measured in gold or jewels, but in the beauty of the natural world and the bonds of friendship and love that connected us all. And so, the tale of the golden stag lived on in the hearts of the villagers, a reminder of the importance of compassion, respect, and the magic that dwells within the wild places of the earth. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the rivers flowed with silver and the forests whispered secrets of old, there lived a young prince named Ivan. Ivan was known throughout the land for his courage and kindness, but he longed for adventure beyond the palace walls. One day, while exploring the depths of the royal gardens, Ivan stumbled upon a hidden pond shimmering with a golden light. At its center lay a magnificent serpent, its scales gleaming like molten gold in the sunlight. Intrigued by the serpent's beauty, Ivan approached cautiously, his heart pounding with excitement. To his surprise, the serpent spoke, its voice soft and melodious. "Fear not, young prince," the serpent said, "for I mean you no harm. I am the guardian of the golden waters, and I have been waiting for one such as you." With a sense of wonder and curiosity, Ivan listened as the serpent told him of a great quest to retrieve a golden apple from the heart of the enchanted forest, where it hung from the branches of a tree guarded by fierce beasts and treacherous traps. Eager to prove his worth and embark on a grand adventure, Ivan accepted the serpent's challenge without hesitation. With the serpent as his guide, he journeyed deep into the heart of the forest, braving its dark depths and overcoming every obstacle in his path. Along the way, Ivan encountered many trials: a fearsome dragon that breathed fire, a cunning fox that spoke in riddles, but with the serpent's wisdom and his own courage, he emerged victorious each time. Finally, after many days of perilous travel, Ivan reached the tree of golden apples, its branches heavy with the promise of riches untold. With a steady hand, he plucked a single apple from the tree and held it aloft, its golden glow illuminating the forest around him. As he returned to the pond with the golden apple in hand, Ivan found the serpent waiting for him, its eyes gleaming with pride. "You have proven yourself worthy, young prince," the serpent said, "and now the golden waters are yours to command." With a sense of awe and gratitude, Ivan dipped the golden apple into the waters of the pond, watching as they transformed into a shimmering liquid gold. And as he drank from the waters, he felt a surge of power and strength coursing through his veins, filling him with a sense of invincibility. From that day forth, Ivan ruled the kingdom with wisdom and compassion, his reign marked by prosperity and peace. And though the serpent had vanished back into the depths of the pond, its legacy lived on in the hearts of all who knew the tale of courage, friendship, and the magic of the golden serpent. In a village nestled in the heart of Russia, where snowflakes danced in the winter sky and the fields bloomed with wildflowers in the summer, there lived a young shepherd named Ivan. He tended to his flock of sheep with care and kindness, his days spent wandering the hills and valleys that surrounded his home. One crisp morning, as Ivan guided his sheep to graze in the meadow, he stumbled upon a glimmering object nestled among the tall grass. To his amazement, it was a golden calf, its shining form reflecting the morning sunlight like a beacon of light. Intrigued by his discovery, Ivan approached the golden calf with wonder, marveling at its beauty and craftsmanship. But as he reached out to touch it, a voice echoed through the air, startling him. "Take me with you, Ivan," the calf spoke, its voice gentle and melodious. "And I will bring you great fortune and riches beyond your wildest dreams." Eager for adventure and wealth, Ivan agreed to take the golden calf with him, carrying it back to his humble cottage in the village. Little did he know, the calf was not just a mere treasure, it was a creature of magic, gifted with the power to grant wishes to those who possessed it. As days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, Ivan's life changed dramatically. With the help of the golden calf, he became the wealthiest man in the village, his pockets overflowing with gold and jewels. But as his fortune grew, so too did his greed and arrogance. He began to flaunt his wealth, boasting of his riches to all who would listen and looking down upon those less fortunate than himself. One day, as Ivan wandered through the village square, he encountered an old beggar woman begging for alms. Scornful of her poverty, he turned his back on her, refusing to spare even a single coin. To his shock and dismay, the golden calf began to tremble in his hands, its once golden form turning dull and lifeless. And as he watched in horror, the calf transformed into a pile of dust, its magic drained by Ivan's selfishness and greed. With a heavy heart, Ivan realized the error of his ways. He had been blinded by his desire for wealth and power, and in the process, he had lost the one thing that truly mattered: his humanity. Determined to make amends for his mistakes, Ivan spent the rest of his days working tirelessly to help those in need, using the lessons he had learned from his encounter with the golden calf to guide him on the path to redemption. And though he may have lost his fortune, he gained something far more valuable: the love and respect of his fellow villagers, who admired him for his humility and compassion. From that day forth, Ivan lived his life with kindness and generosity, knowing that true wealth could only be found in the goodness of one's heart. In a land where the snow kissed the rooftops and the forests whispered secrets of old, there lived a young peasant named Ivan. He toiled away in the fields from dawn till dusk, his days filled with hard work and little reward. One day, as Ivan plowed the fields, he stumbled upon a shimmering golden beetle nestled among the furrows. Entranced by its beauty, he reached out to touch it, only for it to transform into a majestic golden carriage before his eyes. To his amazement, a voice echoed through the air, promising to grant Ivan his heart's deepest desire in return for his kindness to the beetle. Overwhelmed with joy, Ivan wished for wealth and prosperity, eager to escape the life of poverty and hardship that had been his lot for so long. With a wave of its magical wand, the golden carriage whisked Ivan away to a grand palace far beyond the fields, where he was greeted with riches beyond his wildest dreams. He lived a life of luxury and extravagance, surrounded by servants and feasting on the finest foods and wines. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, Ivan began to feel a sense of emptiness creeping into his heart. Despite his wealth and power, he found himself longing for the simple pleasures of his former life: the warmth of the sun on his face, the laughter of his friends, and the love of his family. Determined to reclaim the happiness he had lost, Ivan set out on a quest to find the golden beetle and return it to its rightful place in the fields. With each step of his journey, he encountered new challenges and obstacles, from treacherous forests to raging rivers. But through it all, Ivan remained steadfast in his determination to right the wrongs he had committed. And when at last he found the golden beetle, he begged for its forgiveness, promising to cherish the simple joys of life and never again be swayed by the lure of wealth and power. Moved by Ivan's sincerity, the golden beetle granted his wish, transforming the palace back into a humble cottage and restoring Ivan to his former life. And though he returned to a life of poverty, Ivan found that he was richer than he had ever been before, for he had learned that true happiness could not be bought with gold or jewels, but only found in the love and kindness of the heart. In a land where snow-capped mountains touched the sky and the forests whispered secrets of old, there dwelled a kingdom ruled by a just and wise king. But despite the peace and prosperity that graced the kingdom, a shadow loomed over the land: the dreaded golden dragon. Legend spoke of the dragon's mighty wings and fiery breath, and tales of its terror echoed through the villages and towns. Many brave knights had attempted to slay the beast, but none had returned, their armor and swords left scattered in the dragon's lair as a grim reminder of their failure. One day, a young peasant named Ivan dared to defy the dragon's reign of terror. Armed with nothing but courage and determination, he set out on a quest to rid the kingdom of the fearsome beast and restore peace to the land. As Ivan journeyed through the rugged terrain, he encountered many trials and tribulations along the way. He braved treacherous forests and crossed raging rivers, his resolve unyielding in the face of danger. At last, Ivan reached the entrance to the dragon's lair, a cavern nestled deep within the heart of the mountains. With trembling hands, he ventured inside, his heart pounding in his chest as he faced the creature that had plagued the kingdom for so long. To his surprise, Ivan found the dragon not as fearsome as he had imagined, but rather wounded and sorrowful. The creature's golden scales were tarnished and dull, and its once mighty wings hung limp at its sides. Moved by compassion, Ivan approached the dragon and offered it his help. With gentle hands, he tended to its wounds and spoke words of kindness, soothing the creature's troubled spirit. As days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, Ivan and the dragon formed an unlikely friendship. They shared stories and laughter, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. And as they journeyed together through the kingdom, they discovered that the dragon's true power lay not in its fearsome appearance, but in its wisdom and kindness. With Ivan's guidance, the dragon used its magic to protect the kingdom and bring prosperity to its people, its golden scales shining bright once more. From that day forth, Ivan and the golden dragon became beloved heroes throughout the land, their tale told and retold by generations to come. And though many challenges awaited them in the future, they knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. In the heart of ancient China, where cherry blossoms painted the landscape with hues of pink and the rivers whispered tales of old, there bloomed a legendary flower known as the golden lotus. Legend had it that whoever possessed this flower would be granted eternal youth and boundless prosperity. In a small village nestled among the misty mountains, there lived a humble herbalist named Liang. He spent his days tending to the herbs and plants that grew in the surrounding hills, his hands skilled in the art of healing. One day, as Liang wandered through the forest in search of rare herbs, he stumbled upon a hidden glade bathed in golden light. And there, amidst a carpet of emerald grass, bloomed the fabled golden lotus, its petals shimmering like purest gold in the sunlight. Filled with wonder and awe, Liang approached the flower with reverence, knowing that he stood in the presence of something truly magical. But as he reached out to pluck the flower from its stem, a voice echoed through the glade, stopping him in his tracks. "You seek the power of the golden lotus," said the voice, soft and melodious like the song of a nightingale. "But such power comes with a price. Are you prepared to face the consequences of your desire?" Liang paused, his heart filled with uncertainty. He had heard tales of the golden lotus and the incredible power it possessed, but he had never considered the consequences of obtaining such power for himself. After a moment of reflection, Liang spoke, his voice steady and determined. "I seek not power or wealth," he said. "I seek only to help those in need and to bring healing to the world." Moved by Liang's selflessness and compassion, the spirit of the golden lotus revealed itself to him, its radiant glow enveloping him like a warm embrace. And in that moment, Liang felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins, filling him with a sense of purpose and clarity. From that day forth, Liang used the knowledge and wisdom granted to him by the golden lotus to help those in need, traveling far and wide to heal the sick and comfort the afflicted. And though he never possessed the flower itself, he knew that the true power of the golden lotus lay not in its petals, but in the kindness and compassion it inspired in those who sought its guidance. In a kingdom where the sun painted golden hues upon the rolling hills and the rivers sparkled like molten gold, there stood a magnificent palace adorned with splendor and riches beyond compare. At the heart of this palace lay a grand chamber, where a golden bowl, crafted by the finest artisans and imbued with ancient magic, resided upon a pedestal of marble. Legend spoke of the golden bowl, said to hold the power to reveal the true desires of those who beheld it. Many had ventured into the palace in search of the bowl, but none had returned to tell the tale. Among the villagers who whispered tales of the golden bowl was a young maiden named Alara. With her eyes as bright as the stars and her heart filled with dreams of adventure, she longed to uncover the mysteries of the bowl and unlock its secrets. One fateful day, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the palace gleamed in the twilight, Alara set out on her quest. With a map drawn from ancient scrolls and a heart full of courage, she ventured into the palace, her footsteps echoing in the halls of marble. Through grand corridors and hidden passageways, Alara pressed on, her determination unyielding in the face of danger. And as she journeyed deeper into the heart of the palace, she encountered strange and wondrous sights, from enchanted tapestries to jeweled statues that seemed to come to life. At long last, after days of wandering through the labyrinthine palace, Alara reached the grand chamber where the golden bowl awaited. And there, standing tall and majestic against the golden glow of the setting sun, was the bowl, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly light. With trembling hands and a heart full of anticipation, Alara approached the bowl, her every step echoing in the silence of the chamber. And as she gazed into its depths, a voice echoed through the air, sending shivers down her spine. "Who dares to peer into the realm of the golden bowl?" The voice boomed, its tone both commanding and curious. And daunted by the challenge, Alara spoke with courage and conviction, declaring her quest to unlock the secrets of the bowl and discover the true desires hidden within its depths. And to her surprise, the bowl responded, its golden surface shimmering and shifting to reveal visions of the past, present, and future. With each vision, Alara gained insight into the hopes and dreams of those who had come before her, kings and queens, peasants and paupers, each with their own desires and aspirations. And though she may have been tempted to use the bowl for her own gain, she knew that its true power lay not in revealing the desires of others, but in understanding and compassion. And when at last she returned to her village, the golden bowl in hand, Alara carried with her not only the knowledge of the universe, but also the wisdom that true fulfillment comes not from seeking one's own desires, but from helping others find theirs. In the ancient kingdom of Greece, there lived a king named Midas. He was known far and wide for his wisdom and generosity, but above all, for his insatiable desire for gold. One day, as King Midas wandered through his vast palace, he stumbled upon a hidden chamber where a mysterious figure awaited him. It was none other than Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, disguised as a humble traveler. Touched by Midas's hospitality, Dionysus offered to grant him a single wish as a reward for his kindness. Without hesitation, King Midas wished for the power to turn anything he touched into gold. Delighted by his wish, Dionysus granted it without question and disappeared into the shadows, leaving Midas to marvel at his newfound power. Filled with excitement, Midas set out to test his golden touch, reaching out to touch the nearest object, a simple flower. To his amazement, the flower transformed into pure gold at his touch, its petals shining like the sun. Overjoyed by his discovery, Midas raced through the palace, turning everything he touched into gold, from tables and chairs to walls and floors. But as he reveled in his newfound wealth, he failed to realize the consequences of his actions. For with each object he turned to gold, King Midas grew more isolated from the world around him. His beloved daughter, whom he cherished above all else, turned to gold at his touch, leaving him grief-stricken and alone. Realizing the folly of his wish, King Midas begged Dionysus to take back his golden touch and restore his daughter to life. Moved by his sorrow, Dionysus agreed to grant his request, warning him to be careful what he wished for in the future. With a wave of his hand, Dionysus lifted the curse of the golden touch from King Midas, returning everything to its natural state. And though Midas had lost his golden touch, he had gained something far more valuable, the love and forgiveness of his daughter. From that day forth, King Midas ruled his kingdom with wisdom and compassion, his heart filled with gratitude for the lessons he had learned. And though he may have once desired nothing more than gold, he knew that the true treasures of life could not be bought or sold. In a kingdom where the sun kissed the rolling hills and the rivers shimmered like liquid gold, there lived a young weaver named Alara. She was known throughout the land for her skill with a loom, her fingers weaving intricate patterns that seemed to dance with life. One day, while gathering silk from the silkworms that dwelled in the nearby forest, Alara stumbled upon a hidden glade bathed in golden light. And there, amidst a carpet of delicate flowers, she discovered a spool of thread unlike any she had ever seen before, a thread that glowed with an ethereal light and shimmered like the stars in the night sky. Enchanted by its beauty, Alara took the golden thread back to her cottage and set to work weaving it into the most exquisite tapestry the world had ever seen. With each stitch, she poured her heart and soul into the fabric, her hands moving with a grace and precision that seemed almost otherworldly. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, Alara's tapestry grew more magnificent with each passing day. People from far and wide traveled to witness its beauty, marveling at the way the golden thread seemed to capture the very essence of sunlight itself. But amidst the praise and admiration, Alara remained humble and kind, her heart filled with gratitude for the gift she had been given. For she knew that the true magic of the golden thread lay not in its shimmering surface, but in the love and passion she poured into her work. And so, as she put the final touches on her masterpiece, Alara made a vow to use her gift to bring joy and beauty to the world, to weave a tapestry of love and kindness that would endure for generations to come. From that day forth, Alara's tapestry became a symbol of hope and inspiration in the kingdom, a reminder that even the simplest of threads could weave a story of wonder and enchantment. And though Alara may have been the one to create it, she knew that the true magic of the golden thread lay in the hearts of those who beheld its beauty.